Well, on the show today, we have a man who has been involved in this battle royale with Ghana, former Super Eagles swinger George Finidi. We also have a veteran journalist who will be joining us on the show. He is a former Super Eagles media officer, Toyin Ibitoye. And then, of course, we've got Gary Smith, a Ghanaian journalist, and our own Sarafina Napoleon, who's somewhere in Kumasi as we speak right now, watching the Super Eagles get ready to train ahead of that blockbuster encounter coming up tomorrow. And that's my cue to welcome you to another bumper package of Game On 99.3 Nigeria Info. It feels great to be back. I haven't done this show in God knows how long. Some people are laughing. Sarafina says I'm chasing clout. That's why I came on the show today, because the Super Eagles have a game. She says I'm chasing clout. But anyway, it's great to chase this kind of clout when, of course, you have someone on the show who you adored as a young boy, as a teenager. You watched him on TV help Nigeria qualify for their very first World Cup, and you also watched him on TV play against the Black Stars of Ghana. And today I'm going to be talking to him on the show. Well, what better way to chase clout? That's my cue to welcome you to the show, people. Ufoma Igbamino is my name. It is Game On your favorite talk station, 99.3 Nigeria Info FM Lagos. And I've got Overdizzy right here. Overdose. Yeah. A very good evening to you.
You know, I'm so disappointed in you that on a day like this, so far, when I was supposed to be great, you didn't allow me to anchor the show today. But again, you can't take me totally away from the picture. That's why I'm close to you. So in case there's any
anything
vacancy,
I need to do,
you understand that to just make me enter there, I'll enter. But anyways, it's good to be here as always on a Thursday. We're getting set.
Obviously, I can't take you out of this show. It's not possible.
No, you can't. But at least
you've handled it very well.
Give me more steering roles. Put me in the forefront. I want to be in the line of battle.
Oh yeah, shut up. Okay, I've also got the man who's trying to do, I don't know if he's doing live here in the studio. He's trying to do fine boy. I've got the voice. The man, he's got a wonderful voice. I'm sure you all know. Tony, how are you doing?
Well, very, very great. Pleased to be on the show with you, Ufoma. Not many times we're on the show together, but I don't know. Emmanuel did something with the schedule, and I'm finding myself on a Thursday evening. So, quite shocking terrains, but it's so great to be in the studio with a legend like you.
We only have one legend on this show, and he's going to be talking to us very soon. Please, I am not a legend yet. I've also got Daisy in the building. Daisy, a very good evening to you. You chased me away the last time I was here. You said, "What are you doing in the studio?" I'm back for good. How are you?
Good evening, Lagos. They say that from joke. They no person mind. Truth to be told, it feels awkward seeing you here. Please give this show back to Overdose. I beg you in God's name.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes. Give it to Overdose.
Thank you.
Okay.
So awkward seeing you in the live studio, and I don't feel comfortable.
Okay.
Yes.
She doesn't feel comfortable, but she's got to deal with it. Well, I did tell you that we've got a legend on the show this evening. He is, of course, a former Super Eagles winger, presently the coach of arguably one of Nigeria's biggest teams, Enyimba Football Club of Aba. But not to worry, we're not talking Enyimba on the show today. Absolutely not. It's going to be all about George Finidi. And I can tell you for a fact that when I put this up on my WhatsApp status this afternoon, what I said was, Mama, I have made it. It's not every day you get to talk to a legend, and that's what we're going to be doing on the show this evening. George is ready for us. A very good evening to you, George Finidi, and thank you for joining us on the show. Can you hear us, George? Okay, I think we can now. Hello, good evening to you, George.
Hello, good evening.
Oh, yes, finally. We finally talked to you. Good evening to you. How are you doing? Okay, it looks like we're having connection issues right here, but we'll definitely get back, of course, to George Finidi. I did tell you, of course, that we have lots and lots of persons joining us on the show this evening. We've got Tony Bitoye, who's also from a Super Eagles media officer. He will be joining us on the show. Serafina Napoleon also will be joining us on the show. But let me start with the guys right here in the building. And Overdose, let me start with you quickly while we try to sort out the connection with, of course, our star guest on the show. I don't know about you all, but I remember when we were covering AFCON, I kept saying, that if there was one team I did not want to play against, irrespective of how horrible they looked at during the Nations Cup, it was the Black Stars of Ghana. Somehow, we got them in the draws. What was your first reaction?
Well, it was kind of mixed, really. Mixed in the sense that, they're just like closest rivals. Talking about Ghana, I mean, you look at the fact that when you compare Nigeria and Ghana, it could be like a Man United Liverpool fixture. That's how close the rivalry is. So it was mixed in the sense that, okay, in this kind of games, you don't look at recent antecedents. You don't look at the fact that, okay, these guys have not been too spectacular of late. It's whoever wants it more on the day that gets it. And then I was also comforted by the fact that, come on, against the Gabon, they couldn't do quite well at the AFCON, and more so, Comoros are beating them in that 5-goal thriller right there to knock them out. So on one side, I was like, okay, it's the easiest for me personally, because you look at the fact that under Milovan Rajevac, the man who took them to that AFCON in Cameroon, they weren't really spectacular. They had the star players. Daniel Amate plays for Leicester, the Ayew brothers, but then they couldn't make things happen. So it was a mixed reaction. More so that, okay, fine, we can beat this team, but again, you never say never on the day. Okay,
I will get the thoughts of the other guys, but of course we've got the Super Eagles legend, winger extraordinary, played for Ajax in, of course, Europe, won the Champions League, not just played, won the Champions League for Ajax back in the day. George Finidi joining us once again. George, can you hear us again? Good evening to you.
Good evening, I can hear you.
Okay, well, quickly, I would like to get your first reaction, your first thoughts when the draws were made and it was pulled out from the hat that the Super Eagles are going to be playing against the Black Stars of Ghana. What was your first reaction?
I was not too happy because it's a team that always gives us that challenge, that problem. I've played against the Black Stars a couple of times. I think in 1992 Nations Cup, we played against, I think the semi-finals, and we lost.
Yes, I'm actually coming for that game, but go ahead.
So it's a very difficult side to play against. We know times have changed, but I think the mentality always, that rivalry, it's always there, whenever you play against Ghana. So even if we, on paper, we feel we are superior to Ghana because of their performances lately, it's going to be a difficult one. Tomorrow's match is going to be a difficult one for Nigeria. I think they know what's at stake. The Ghanaians know what's at stake, and they're going to give their all to make sure that they have a good result. So I know we have a good team, but we must take that game very, very seriously and make sure we don't lose. The first game will be the decider. The game tomorrow will be the decider. If we can have a good result, I think the second game in Nigeria will be much easier. But we must go in there and make sure we don't lose that game.
Okay, thank you very much for that response. Well, in your answer, you did make mention of the 1992 semi-finals, and for me, every time I remember Ghana, it's one game that I honestly do not want to watch again. Semi-finals of the Africa Nations Cup 1992. Some have argued that was actually one of Nigeria's best collection of stars and best team ever. In fact, many predicted that Nigeria were going to win the Nations Cup in that 1992. We faced Ghana in the semi-finals, scored the first goal. I think you set up that first goal with a cross that, of course, Mutiu Adekoju headed into the back of the net. We had other chances to score. We didn't. And somehow, Ghana equalized in the second half. They got the second goal, and that was the end for us. Could you actually, just tell us what it was like for you after that game that Nigeria lost to Ghana? I know it's about 30 years ago, so the memories might be faint, but we would like to just have that historical context. What was it like for you after the Super Eagles lost to Ghana in that game?
I would say we were so confident that we thought that was going to be a walkover because of the caliber of players we had in the team. But, like I rightly said, on paper, we win everything, and we got disappointed when we were beaten by Ghana. It was not a good feeling at all, we all were sad. Westhoff was there, I think that was the second or third year in the team as technical advisor. So we were all sad about that game because we went in there hoping that we were going to beat Ghana, but we were, I think, after the game, we were surprised that they came all out, they gave their best, and they got the result. So we were so disappointed to have lost that game, but I think after that, we've always had an edge over Ghana. I've played a couple of times. I think even the 2002 World Cup, we qualified beating Ghana here in Port Harcourt.
Yep.
So we've had a little edge over Ghana, but we cannot underrate them, losing that game in 1992, I know it's a long time ago. We were really disappointed that we did not, win that game and eventually win the cup. But we came out third in that tournament, and it was a sad moment for us, and that pushed us to give our best in 1994.
Definitely, and for me, it was great that Ghana went on to that final and lost to the Ivorians on penalties at the Nations Cup in 1992. But let's take it a step further, George. Many people, if you ask many Nigerians to talk about what is George Finidi's favorite goal or most important goal for Nigeria, I'm sure many people will remember the goal you scored against Greece at the World Cup USA 94. But for me personally, I think the greatest goal you actually scored for the Super Eagles was scored 1 year before, when Nigeria needed a point to qualify for the World Cup, and we were playing Algeria away from home. And for anybody who knows the history of Nigeria and North African teams, they would know that it was always difficult every time the Super Eagles played against North Africa. In fact, prior to 1994, most of the North African teams stopped us from going to the World Cup. But we were in a group that had the Ivorians, who were African champions at the time, and of course, Algeria, a super powerhouse. We went to Algeria, we needed a point to qualify, and you scored the goal. Even though Algeria equalized later, it ended 1-1, and we actually qualified for our very first World Cup. I would want you to relive for us the moments, the days leading to that match. What was it like? I know I was a young boy at the time, but I know how much pressure and how much trepidation we had as Nigerians. Just relive for us those moments in the days leading to that Algerian game and what it was like for you when we got that first qualification.
It was a great moment for us. As a team and Nigeria as a whole. We've been longing to qualify for the World Cup. We got knocked out in 1990 by Cameroon. So, going to that qualifiers, and I think we needed a point. It was a difficult one. I think the move came from Algiers to somewhere else. I think a smaller city.
Yep.
I don't know why. I don't know the reason why. So All sorts of things were going on. West Half wasn't happy that they moved the game from one place to the other. So too many distractions before that game, but we were focused and we tried to do our best to make sure that we don't lose. We knew it was going to be a difficult game. The French-speaking side, the Algerians, and the French-speaking countries, how they come together when they need something very, very important. So we were a little bit skeptical about what was going to happen, but we kept our focus and made sure that we don't lose the game because we needed just a point. And we were so lucky that we scored first, and the game became a little bit difficult in the second half, where there was pressure. They tried to equalize and win the game, but we held on till the last minute. So we're all happy, but it was a difficult game. A lot of stress, traveling from one place to the other, moving the game from one city to the other, but we needed it more than they did. So we kept our cool and made sure we qualified Nigeria for the first time.
Okay, we'll go on a quick break in about 2 or 3 minutes. So let's try and see if we can talk a little about that particular game before we go on that break. George, I would love you to just tell us what it was like in the dressing room in Algeria after that game. I didn't watch that game live. We were following it on radio because there was no light in my house. I remember vividly. And trust me, it wasn't easy following that game via radio commentaries. We had our hearts in our mouth. So just tell us what it was like celebrating in the dressing room after that 1-1 draw.
We were celebrating, singing. First, we had to pray. After prayers, we started singing, and back then, players don't celebrate with champagne, but you see these days, players celebrate whenever they qualify. I know if Nigeria will qualify, the next game in Nigeria, I think the players will celebrate with champagne. So our time, we just had a song.
Thank you for saving me. Thank you, my Lord.
A lot of songs, and a lot of promises were fulfilled. I think the NFF made some promises. Some wealthy men made some promises, which we had some cash. After that game, so that was a good thing. I think. I can hear you.
I will take you up on that. NFF and promises and wealthy Nigerians in a bit, but we need to go on a very quick commercial break, so just hang on, George. We're loving all of the stories you're telling us, but this is my cue to also welcome Wale Agbede, brilliant sports journalist who's joining us on Game On this evening. Wale, a very good evening to you.
Good evening to you, former.
This one you're low like this, what is it?
I miss radio.
Oh yeah, you really miss radio. Okay guys, we'll go on a very quick commercial break, but not to worry, there's so much to talk about on the show. Remember I told you ex-Super Eagles media officer Toyin Bitoye would also be joining us. He's in Ghana, by the way. He'll be joining us on the show this evening. Stay with us. It's 99.3 Nigeria Info. Game On is the show. The rest of the guys are in the building. We will be right back.
Hi guys, I'm Peter. 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Hi everyone, Martin Tyler here, English Premier League commentator, UEFA Champions League commentator, and assistant manager of Woking Football Club. You're listening to Femi and the Gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info FM.
Hi guys, I'm Peter Drury, football commentator, and you are hanging out with Femi and the Gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info FM.
Hello, my name is Samuel Chukwueze, Super Eagles and Villarreal of Spain 4. Keep listening to Femi and the Gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Thank you.
And diversity brings beauty, just like the rainbow.
TY Mix.
It's hard to replace. Such a good feeling when the news of unity fills the air while the wind blows.
Super Eagles, no tension.
99.3 Nigeria Info is the dial, is the nation's number one talk station, and it is 35 minutes gone past the 7 o'clock hour. It is Game On, just in case you were wondering. And of course, today on the show, we're taking a historical context into the rivalry that is Nigeria versus Ghana. I'll make that the Super Eagles versus the Black Stars. And of course, I've got the very best, and I mean the very best, on the show today. Super Eagles legend. Well, he won tournaments with the country, won the Nations Cup, was part of the team that of course went to Nigeria's first ever World Cup at the United States in 1994. George Finidi is in the building. And I did tell you at the start of the show that we would also have ex-Super Eagles spokesperson, ex-Super Eagles media officer, Tony Bito, a veteran journalist, on the show. Well, I can tell you for a fact that he is right here. And of course, I've got Ghanaian journalist Gary All-Smith. We are quarreling, by the way, at least until next week, Tuesday. By next week, Tuesday, we can decide whether we want to be friends again after Nigeria must have qualified for the World Cup. But before I get to my guests, let me just quickly take the thoughts of the guys in the building. Tony, I've taken over those thoughts. Let me take Tony's thoughts. Tony, the game is tomorrow. Quickly, tell us in 30 seconds, 1 minute, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to a Super Eagles team that is coming with the desire and hunger to rewrite some of their wrongs in the past. This is historically defining for the team. It's some barometer to judge how far we have come, and what a better opponent than Ghana, who we have shared history and rivalry with since 1950s till this point. So I want to see boys out there with hunger, fire, blood in their eyes. Done. And we have to stay very compact. It's an away game. It's an away game, so stay very compact, and then we have got the firepower. Surely, when we have the chance to actually break, we make that count. And let's see how that happens. But really, my head is on fire at the moment.
Okay, Ada, quickly to you right now. Your thoughts ahead of the game tomorrow.
Well, I think it's just more than football. Bragging rights is involved. Whatever, everything is involved.
I said that at the start of the show.
Supremacy,
pride, Jollof wars.
Exactly. Well, I think this is kind of the game that is not necessarily the coach's tactics that will make the difference. It's about the players finding solution to their own challenge right there on the field of play, collectively and individually. These are the kind of games that the Super Eagles will need one superstar
to do the business.
Just one superstar.
Okay.
That will change the complexion of the game with this slip, because I think it's not just about tactics, like I said. It's not about technique. It's about the players themselves having that inner belief, the courage, the tenacity, the determination, the fighting spirit
to do the business,
to be battle ready. They must win all of their duels one after the other. If it's Aribo coming up against Thomas Partey, he must win every battle.
Okay.
If it's a defense coming up against attack, they must win it, and they should have that belief that they should be ready, because it's not all of the officiating that will favor the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So how do you react?
Okay,
do you let the jitters out, or do you want to tuck it in?
We'll put a pause on that one quickly. Let's take a little step backwards and look at when Nigeria played against Ghana at the Nations Cup in 2008. Tony Bitoy, I'm coming to you on this one now. Here's me thinking you were actually in Ghana for that game. I'm not particularly certain, but we scored first and somehow found a way to lose to 10-man Ghana in that game. Can you really, give us some insight as to what it was like for the Super Eagles losing to 10-man Ghana out there in Ghana in the Nations Cup?
Send my greetings to Gary, housemate. Gary, I'm in Accra. I had a taste of Ghana Jollof today. I will pass my verdict at the end of the show. Living legend, Finidi George. I hail you, sir. All right. So, but to that game, it was. I want to forget that game. It was. I can't. We had the penalty call. First of all, the referee didn't give it. I think Ike Uche was fouled in the box.
Yep.
The referee didn't give it. And then just a minute after, another foul in the box, which wasn't even as obvious as the first one, and the referee gave it. Yakubu converted, and we were cruising. John Mensah got a red card for pulling back goal-bound Osaze Odenwege, and we felt that it was all over for the Ghanaians. Last minute of the first half, Michael Essien somehow managed to draw them level with one freak header off a corner kick, and
he hit the post and went in.
I'm telling you, and Ejide was stranded, and then we were just pulling on, wondering what was going to happen before, may God rest his soul, Junior Agogo scored the winner late in the game. And that was the end of Coach Betty Vokes, because we crashed out in the I think quarterfinals.
Yes.
Of the quarterfinals. But it was a very, very heartbreaking performance by the Eagles. Our performance kept dropping with a man advantage until the Ghanaians scored that winner. So I remember another one. I'm sure Finidi will remember this one, because I think Finidi provided the assist for Mutu Adepoju to score a first goal for Nigeria, just as it was in 2008. First goal by Mutu Adepoju.
We already talked about it in the first half of the show. He talked about how that was heartbreaking. Senegal 92.
Till today, when I remember that game, you see, they pay me. It's like Nigeria Italy for 1994 World Cup. We had that game under control. We were the best team in that tournament. In fact, I don't know how we lost that game. And this time around, we ended with 10 men, because late Ajibade Babalade, may God rest his soul, got sent off in that game. So Ghana, Nigeria, always 50-50, always too close to call. As someone said earlier on the show, is about who wants it the more. It's about which set of players are hungrier on the day. It's, it doesn't answer to form book. It doesn't answer to who has the better players. It answers to who is hungrier, who is more committed, who is ready to fight and fight for the pride of their nation. So that's how it is. We hope for the best. The Eagles have been well prepared. I've also had some good memories of triumph over Ghana. 2006, I think, Nations Cup, Taiwo's late free kick gave us a 1-0 win. And then 2001 World Cup qualifying,
in Port Harcourt,
draw in Accra. And then in Port Harcourt, Tijani Babangida and Finidi George and co dealt a 3-0 hammer on the Black Stars. So, yeah, it's if I had my way, these two countries shouldn't be meeting at this stage.
Okay.
What it is.
Okay, Toyin, we need to go on another quick commercial break in like 20 seconds. And it's going to be about 3 minutes break. Please just hold on. Gary, I'm sure you are itching to talk because we want to hear the other side of the story, the Ghanaian side of the story. We still have George Finidi, who still joined us all the way from Aba, I think, on the show. So Finidi is going to be talking to us in a bit, guys. Just stick around. We'll be right back. about the Super Eagles on the show Game On 99.3 Nigeria Info. This very beautiful Thursday evening, 15 minutes gone past the 7 o'clock hour. Ufo Mike Bamano is my name. I'm one member of Femi and the Gang. I've got a Daisy here. I've got Tony here. I've got Overdose. And of course, we've got a guest on the show, Wale Agbede. But you could argue that we all are not the most important people on the show today, when of course you've got living legends appearing on Game On, and I'm talking the one and only Super Eagles winger, Ajax of the Netherlands player, Champions League winner, and of course the man who also went to Spain and did the business out there. We're talking
at some point he was voted as the best number 7 in the world. Football.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
It doesn't get better than that.
We got players who can ball. Yeah.
Of course, we've got Ghanaian journalist Gary Allsmith, who I said I'm going to be enemies with at least until next week Tuesday. He's joining us on the show. And of course, we've got ex-Super Eagles media officer Tony Ibite, a veteran journalist, people that we look up to in this business. He is also on the show with us. Let me start with Gary right now. Gary, you heard Tony, talk about that loss that the Super Eagles had against the Black Stars in 2008 at the Nations Cup. I'm very sure you are hoping that in tomorrow's game you will have that kind of result, right?
Well, how do I even begin this? I've said a couple of times that it's far more than, just a football, like many people have said on the show. I don't know if you explained to the Indomie generation who are listening to you what it really, how maybe we should allow Mr. Finidi George to give us a context of what it used to mean to them.
He's actually done that. He's actually done that about 45 minutes ago. He's told us how crazy it can be between Nigeria and Ghana.
It used to be, yeah. So I mean, it's, and I don't know if you said this as well. For us here, some of our legends have been going back even to the 60s and how it really began. In 1969, and I'm sure you know that Ghana passed the very draconian alien compliance order, which meant that millions of Nigerians who were living here and earning their, daily bread legally, and it was designed to get undocumented immigrants or migrants out of the system, but they were very much part of the fabric of society. A lot of them had their kids here, they were schooling here, some had grown up here. And it was very draconian and it wasn't taken well. A couple of years later in 1983, Nigeria decided that they needed to show the small brother something. And so Nigeria also did the same thing, packing out undocumented West African migrants. But the thing was that of the West African migrants, the 4 million that left, almost half were Ghanaian. So
which brought up the term Ghana must go.
Which brought up the
so we have bags in Nigeria today that we still call Ghana must go bags. So just in case you are young and you don't know, that's how it happened. Go ahead.
Origin. So in Ghana, we still call it Ghana must go. That is what we call. Nobody calls it with the botanical name, Jutubag or whatever it is that they call it. So that's the history of the two teams. And then Abedi Pele will tell you how growing up when he played or when he featured. More correctly, because he was not a fixture of that AFCON 1982 team when we last won it, but he was there as a very, very young player. And how Nigeria qualified for Ghana didn't qualify for AFCON 88, but Nigeria went and did the business there. And then in 1990 in Algeria as well, Algeria won the AFCON, but Nigeria also had their presence there. And then of course the famous one in 1992 when one of the teams ensure that the other got out of the competition before the final, and then all the way to 94, Nigeria went to the World Cup, Ghana didn't go, and then all the way to 2001, Okocha and Finidi George, Port Harcourt, they ensured that Ghana didn't go to Japan Korea 2002. I'm sure you've seen my interview with Okocha, where he mentions when I asked him what does he think of when he hears about Ghanaian football, and he said he thinks flair and underachievers. That video has that video has trended very well. Guess what? And you know how it is in this job. It's an example of an interview whose moment you wait to come. You know when I did that interview? 2016.
Wow.
Yeah. It's taking me for 2018, because I went to Bundesliga with the Bundesliga thing with Star Times. And it's taken me 4 years to be able to release that video because I was looking for the best moment. I knew Ghana and Nigeria were faced at a point. So it's been there, and I just went to Kuku, take my hard drive, and I looked for it, and I just cut it, and I put it up. So yeah, that's what it means. I mean, look, it's a big deal here. I don't know how big it is in Nigeria. I'm at the airport right now. I told you my flight is delayed. That's why I've not left you. My flight is delayed, and flights have been booked the minute it was announced that it was coming to Kumasi. Everything was choked the minute. So there are hordes of people doing. Today is Thursday. A lot of offices in Accra have,
closed,
giving those who want to go. Yeah, like they are not coming to. A lot of people are not going to work tomorrow because they're having a road trip.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's a long weekend. It's a long weekend, and believe me, bosses, believe me, if Ghana play very well and even draw tomorrow in Kumasi, it's going to be a freaking party this weekend.
Just a draw. It's going to be party.
No, a very good draw. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because you know where we are coming from. The team has not played. The team has not played well at all. So if, for example, they played like a wild 1-1 draw or something in Kumasi, it's going to set the tone for. Because I don't know if you know as well. Another reason why Ghana badly needs this is that for the last 3 months, we have been entering basically what I can call an economic recession, years of. So,
well, some will argue that Nigeria has been in recession for the last 7 years, Gary. You have been in 3 months. Some would argue that Nigeria has been in recession for 7 years. So we badly need it.
Exactly. So, look. Exactly. So I think that for both nations, there's much more at stake. Look, it's going to galvanize the Nigerian economy in ways that economics cannot explain. If Nigeria win this thing, and the same thing for Ghana as well.
Okay.
I mean, a FIFA official. Last thing I'll say, a FIFA official. I spoke to this week, and I just asked while I was applying for accreditation for something. Who would they like to see at the World Cup? Of course, I didn't like the answer, but
Okay, Gary, just take a hold. I'll come back to you in a bit, but let's go to George Finidi right now. George, you've heard Ghanaian journalist Gary Allsmith, giving his thoughts and talking about how the fever is crazy out there in Accra, in Kumasi, and all the villages out there in Ghana. Let me ask you, as one who has played in this kind of pressure games, George, how do you think Nigeria should be approaching this game tomorrow? What should our preparation look like? What should your former teammate Austin Eguavon be telling the guys tomorrow ahead of this game?
They should not be carried away. They should be focused. They are there for a purpose, to having a good result. What I mean by good result, not losing. Not losing that game, I think would be a good result for Nigeria. If you lose, then that brings more pressure on the team. That must be a must win in Nigeria, which nobody wants. A must win will make it even much difficult for the players to win. So if we can get a draw, it will allow the players to relax a little bit more when they come to Nigeria. But if they go there and lose, the message should be go there, defend well, don't be carried away, make it compact. If we can get a break and score a goal, fine. If not, don't concede. Because if you concede and you try to push your team forward, you concede another goal, then it's all over. Then you have to score 3 goals in Nigeria. That's going to be a difficult one. So let us not get carried away. Everybody's talking about Nigeria is a better team. Nigeria is going to win. Nigeria is going to win. Let us be focused and keep our team compact and see how we can get a good result. Not losing the game, I think, is a good result. We'll come back to Nigeria, then we'll see how we can strategize and score a goal. And if we can score a goal here, then they have to come out and see how they can equalize, and then it will open the game up. But losing the first game is not an option.
Losing the first game is not an option. That's according to 1994 Africa Cup of Nations winner, the legend himself, George Finidi. I've still got the ex-Super Eagles media officer, Toyin Bitoye, joining us all the way from Ghana via the phone lines. Toyin, Gary Allsmith says it is crazy out there in Ghana. Some companies have given, workers time off to go cool off and get ready for the game. He's also talked about how if they get a draw, it will be party for them, considering how Ghana didn't really play particularly well at the Nations Cup. But Tony, that could be like a dangerous pill for Nigeria. Here's me thinking Ghana just using this as a strategy to take the pressure off them and pile the pressure on Nigeria. Because yes, they might not have played particularly well at the Africa Cup of Nations, but the Black Stars are still the Black Stars. They've got some of the very best of players. Thomas Partey has been doing particularly well at Arsenal. They've got other players who can hurt the Super Eagles. How best do you think we should be approaching this game tomorrow?
As our living legend, Finidi George, just said, focus, very, very key. Don't mind Gary, all those ones that are saying draw will be a party. Now, except they tell you, nobody they hear that one. The players are not listening to anybody. Whether you say Nigeria, one of their member of the parliament said they should not bother to play the game and Nigeria has qualified. I say, now lie you, now set up. The boys are not listening to that. The boys know that the game will be tough. The boys are prepared for battle, for a tough game. We've told them that, look, Nigeria, Ghana, any day is too close to call. So go out there and forget about the noise. They can rate you for as high as they want. They can tell you that you've won the game. Games are not won before they are played. They are won on the pitch. And after the referee blows the final whistle, that's when you know you've won a game or you've lost a game. So that's what we are going to be doing. Focus on the game, go onto the pitch and give your 100%. In fact, we want to play the game tomorrow as if it's a one-off, as if it's the only game
I agree.
to be played.
I agree. Best
That's
strategy.
If I'm telling you, we are playing like there's no other game. After tomorrow's game, then we take another game. One of the favorite quotes of Genetro when he was Super Eagles coach is, your toughest game is the next one. Your most important game is the next one. Because there is no game after the next one if you don't do well. So the most important game for us is Thursday. Is
Friday.
Friday, rather. It's Friday. The most important game for us is Friday. We play that game as if it's the only game to be played. And if God can't help us, we can't beat them like 4-0 for Kubasi. They may decide not to come for second leg. No wahala. They may pull out. No problem. So it will be easy tomorrow. Never. Don't mind Gary. It will be a tough game. And we'll be ready for battle. That's the most important thing.
Of course. It will be tough.
Okay. Okay, Gary, I'll come to you in a bit. I have to ask Tony one particular question. Now, for a lot of Nigerians, they believe that whether right or wrong, that's not the question now. But perception, they say, is everything. They believe that the Super Eagles were actually distracted in the build-up to that round of 16 game against Tunisia at the Africa Cup of Nations. With all of the politicians making promises, with all of the football administrators coming to visit the team, and all of that. As someone who has been part of the team, or someone who has been a backroom staff, can you tell us in a nutshell, do the players really get distracted by all of those visits from politicians and administrators and all those promises that are made ahead of a crucial game?
Yeah, those promises are good. They can motivate you. They can motivate you. But in life, even too much of a good thing sometimes can be bad. Too much of everything, they say, is bad. So even if something is good and you take too much of it, it could be counterproductive. When it becomes too much, it can become a distraction. We should always ensure that the best form of motivation is the motivation that comes from within the players, the motivation to defend the green and white of Nigeria beyond any monetary incentive or any promise. If that one is not there, no matter how much you try to ignite that desire and determination with external motivation, it won't work, it will backfire. So while it is good to make such promises, well, for us as backroom, it's always good when they promise money because nobody they play.
I like your honesty.
Sometimes when you are playing and you remember the monetary gift and you are losing, you could say, "Child,
when do you they play?"
The most important one is the motivation that comes from within them. The motivation that they want to be at the World Cup, the motivation that they want to make Nigerians happy, the motivation that they want to go out there and put smiles on the faces of their fans for themselves first. Then that external one will come be like boost. That's the best way. It's good, but too much of it sometimes can become a distraction.
Okay, thank you very much, Tony. Let me ask that same question now to Gary. Gary, how is the Ghana Football Federation, or Association, I should say, how are they motivating the Black Stars ahead of this crucial game tomorrow?
First of all, they are not talking much. I'm sure you have noticed. Ask Twin. I mean, they are literally not saying much at all. And Twin might have noticed in his time here. It's annoying us, especially the media, because this is the time you want to be able to get content and all that, but they basically are not talking much. Apart from today's press conference at the stadium where we had Otuado, we had Thomas Partey speak, the team has not said anything since Monday when Otto released the video and Chris Hughton also released a video. So we've heard nothing from the team. So we don't know. It's only yesterday. Guess what? It's only yesterday. In fact, last night that we managed to get the spokesperson on our show in the evening, and he dropped one or two things. For example, that did we know that Otto and Chris Hughton, they are in Germany and England respectively. So apparently for the past 6 weeks, since they were officially given the job to be in charge of the team for these two games, they've been traveling back and forth between their two countries and they've been meeting ahead of the game. Nobody has told us that, and we didn't know that until now. And we also heard that up to 1,000 media accreditations had been received. So I don't know if you've seen the list of the accredited media. Guess what? The official list is 468. 468. So
It's madness. I can imagine.
Yesterday, when we heard that 1,000 people had applied, I honestly thought it was an exaggeration until the official list of those given today came out, and I saw that it was 468, and I'm like, okay, then how many more were rejected then? Yeah, but I mean that's how big it is. It's absolutely massive.
Okay, I think my last question now to George Finidi. The Nigerian Football Federation says that this is big business, that this game is a very big business for them. Of course, we know the ripple effects that. We know the ripple effects that, of course, qualification for the World Cup would be like, and how it's going to help businesses, how it's going to help those of us here in the media, so it's a game that Nigeria cannot afford to lose. But the same question I asked Toyin, Finidi, I'm going to ask you that same question. Now, you will tell us as a player who played for the Super Eagles for a number of years, and of course you had lots and lots of these promises from the Minister of Sports, from the Nigerian Football Federation, from captains of industries, some of the big politicians. At this point in time, everybody wants to identify with the team. How much does these promises, how much do they actually motivate or inspire players to do the business that they do on the field of play?
Personally, I don't think that helps. For me, I always feel those promises should be, or whatever thing that they want to give should be done after the game. When you have too many officials, businessmen coming in, everybody wants to show that they're giving the Super Eagles something, and it becomes too much. At the end of the day, it doesn't really help. So for me, I don't know if my own time we've had the same. You see the minister coming, you see businessmen coming to say, I'm giving every player $5,000 or $2,000 if you win the match. I think that is excessive. I thought that would have changed, for the past maybe 30 years. They would have come up with a strategy where anybody that wants to give whatever to the players should tell the NFF. Once the game is won, then they can come out and say, this businessman or this person has donated or has given the Super Eagles this amount of money for winning. But when you start talking about money before the game, I don't think it's good enough. So it's not really, when it's too much, then it's bad. If you have just one person coming in to say, okay, if you do this, I give you that, I think that is enough. That would be motivational. But when you have 3 or 4 persons coming to say, if you win the match, I give you this, if you win the match, I give, then the focal point will just be as if
they are playing for money
aspect, which is, it doesn't go in line with football, So yes, it doesn't go. First, you have to defend the colors, and whatever thing that comes after that for doing well, I think will be appreciated. But if you want to put that in front, and you think players will win the match because you've said you give them money after, if they win the match, sometimes backfires.
Okay, I will let my colleagues here ask a few questions. I don't know if they have 1 or 2 questions to ask any of our guests. Starting with you, Tony.
Yeah, Gary, can you hear me? Hello, Gary.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
I've got quite a couple, so I'll just merge them together so you see how you can deal with them. First, we've had several things as regards the delay in release of the squad over 3 weeks. I mean, that was one hell of a, I don't know what to call that. But let us know, why did it take the GFA over 3 weeks to release the 27-man squad? And also, what faith, you as a person, Gary, what faith do you have in Otto Addo? I know there is George Boateng and Udi also, not forgetting Chris Hooting, the 4 men who have been given the responsibility of leading this team. What faith do you have in Otto as a person? And if Ghana fail to qualify, what is the plan? Because we know this is an interim fix. Will he stay, or is this a plan for the future, irrespective of what happens with the Ghana-Nigeria tie? And also, some team news, we hear Jordan Ayew is back to the team, Edmond Addo out injured, and your ideal team in terms of your starting 11. I don't know, that team is exciting to me. I'm looking out for some players like Fatawu too, but you know, what is your ideal starting 11 against Nigeria?
Right, thank you. Let me begin with a question about the squad. Like I said in my last question, answering my last question, the FA have chosen to be quiet. You know, sometimes they like to do that, the FAs. I mean, I remember, I'm old enough to remember a couple of years ago when the NFF used to do that to Nigerians, and it was always wahala, and you know, you had people cursing them because they are not talking, they are not communicating. But you would admit that, and that is what the FA are trying to tell us, that you know, certain situations call for certain measures, and they are just temporary and they are not going to become the norm. So yesterday, like I said, when we got the opportunity to speak to the spokesperson, we asked him that question, and he said, let me tell you what he said. First of all, he said there is no rule in international football from FIFA or anybody that says that the NFF must release a squad it is just a norm. You know, it is just a practice that has become accepted. There's no rule anywhere. I mean, he harkened back, and you know what, when he took my mind back, I remember that, yes, it was true. Who remembers when Germany had to go the very unorthodox route of playing a playoff for a World Cup, and then they played against Ukraine in 2001, ahead of the 2002 World Cup, Japan, Korea also. They had a media blackout. They only released the squad a day to the time. And when the people came to training, they saw that, oh, Oliver Bierhoff was there, Miroslav Klose was there, this person was there. You know, that run, if you recall, led them to go all the... You remember how they did in the 2002 World Cup?
Yep, got to the final and lost to Brazil.
Exactly.
So that's the template.
There was a lot.
So y'all are playing mind games. Okay.
Oh no. I'm just saying that their argument is that, as it were, desperate times call for desperate measures, because again, you might have seen from the outside. I mean, the Ghana FA are not the most popular at the moment for a lot of reasons.
Yeah,
I can't go through right now. Right? They are not popular at all. Many stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. So there's a stay of execution on, there are daggers in the basket. You understand? We have soaking canes in kerosene. If God forbid, the team doesn't qualify you. And I've said a few times else, I've not written it on Twitter or anywhere, but with my colleagues, just like for the NFF, this is a referendum on the NFF elections that will be held later this year.
I agree.
If Ghana doesn't qualify for the
World Cup.
Go ahead, Gary. I think he mistakenly turned off his video. He's trying to fix that one. Hello, Gary. Hello. Okay, looks like we've lost the connection with Gary Allsmith, the Ghanaian journalist, speaking to us from, I think, the airport airport terminal out there in Accra, waiting for his flight to take him to Kumasi. And of course, we'll be joined from Kumasi very, very soon by that Waka Waka troublemaker, who has been covering the Super Eagles and has attended. I think their training should be on right now. But quickly, before Gary comes back, over those, have you guys got any question before we see if we can put on get to the fans on the phone line?
Okay, so the same question Tony asked Gary is what I want to ask Finidi right now. When you look at the crop of players we have, I mean, we see Ademola Lookman coming in. He's not been with the squad before. This will be his first time. Absolutely. And then you look at the likes of Victor Osimhen right there. You look at players like Etebo Genakaro coming back. But again, Wilfred Ndidi missing. One player we would have loved to have on our side. When you look at the national team, the Super Eagles team, George, what will be your confidence level heading to tomorrow's game? How confident are you in the crop of players that we have currently in the Super Eagles fold?
I'm quite confident. These are players that the majority of the players just played in the just recent concluded Nations Cup. So just for the coach, to pick the right players for the game, So I'm quite confident, if they go by their team plan, team tactics, and whatever team that can boost them. I'm quite confident that they can get a good result in Ghana. But even if we're missing Didi, we'll still have a table and others, that can fill in for him and make sure they get the job done. So I'm not quite worried if they are focused, like I earlier said, to getting a good result there. So let's forget about Ghana is not doing well. Their list came out late. All could be a strategy. We should be focused on our game plan and make sure we get the job done. Not losing. I think it's going to be a good result. But if you lose there, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the team. And then when you play a game and you want that game to be a must win, sometimes it backfires. So I would rather want them to play a good game and not lose that game. This game that we're going to play tomorrow is going to be key. If they can get a good result, not losing there, or even a good result could be 1-1, but they make sure that they don't lose, because if you lose, it puts more pressure
on the team.
3-4 days, in 3-4 days, you're coming back to Nigeria to play. You have to put a lot of pressure. You don't have 1 month to prepare for that game. Yeah. In 3-4 days, if you lose that game, then you have 3 or 4 days to prepare. And psychologically, if you lose, it will tell on you. So, yes. So I would rather want them to have a good result, play a sound football where tactically everybody will be sound. They will make it compact so that they don't concede. That will be the key.
Okay. Quickly, we have about 3 more minutes before we go on another break. Finidi, I'm putting you on the spot right now. What's going to be the scoreline tomorrow?
Because of the caliber of players we have in Nigeria, let's say for me 1-0 against Ghana.
Ah, nice, super nice. Gary?
That's a very close game. Very close.
Gary, your scoreline?
2-1. I am quite sure we will concede. But 2-1. Yeah.
2-1 in favor of
Ghana.
Oh, us, of course.
All right, Toyin, what would be your scoreline tomorrow?
Ghana 0, Nigeria 2.
Nice. So it's 2-1. Okay.
Clean sheets.
Very nice. So just before we go on that quick commercial break, Tony, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time to join us all the way from Ghana.
Thank you, guys. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you so much.
All right. And of course, Finidi, it's an absolute pleasure to actually have you join us on the show Game On right here on Nigeria Info Lagos. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
All right, Gary, if you're still available, you could just hang on. We're going on a quick break. Sarafina Napoleon.
Just called my flight now.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's all right.
Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you later on. We appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay. Our in-house troublemaker, Sarafina Napoleon, who is out there in Kumasi, has joined the broadcast already. Sarafina will be telling us everything that happened in training this evening. She'll be telling us about all the fine boys she went to hug.
Yeah.
She'll be telling us about which jollof rice is sweeter because she has eaten jollof rice in Ghana. Just wait for it, people.
Leave that hugging part. Tony is here. I think let's avoid that.
Who is Tony? Who is Tony?
I'll tell you after the show.
Who is Tony?
I'll tell you after the broadcast. Just off your mic and leave that part.
Off your mic.
All right, people. We're going on that quick break in a bit. We'll be right back and to talk with the guys here, right here in the studio, as well as, of course, Sarafina Napoleon. It's Game On Nigeria Info.
Where the